What's good with it in the hood with it? You already know what it is. Gun is going to be about that biz. Right here, Gunner's Profiles, man, where we're really going to get it in, make it happen, get it to cracking. You know what's a fact, instead of be jacking. Yeah, I'm attacking. You know what it is. I ain't no knacking. Now, listen. Guard! Shut up. I'm about to get into it, right? You see the thumbnail, Southside handling business, right? And I wanted to tell a quick story about going to a yarda and watching a vato really present himself in a vicious fashion, right? It's not every time you get to see vatos from the other side, you know, and you really see it unfold. Now, this particular dude, his name was Stomps. I'm not going to tell you what vato he was from, but he was a good dude, right? And I remember running into him on the yarda and just peeping out his stilo. And I could see from a distance, he was an older vato. He was about the business, but at the same time, I thought he was getting himself caught up in a situation. You know, he liked to walk around the yarda with his head, you know what I mean, doing this a little bit. You know what I mean? The not out game was real, but it was none of my business, actually, to be honest with you, to tell you the truth. You know, him being from the other side, I was a non-active norteño at this time. I was in Jamestown, but the other vatos on the other side were active, right? So we kind of kept our distance. We just did our thing. You know, we functioned with the homeboys we functioned with. And let me dispel any rumors, man. On a 50-50 yard, when you're non-active, what it means as a norteño is you just don't function under certain guidelines and rules, regulations, and policies. You still kick it with the homies. You still got to have kosher, good paperwork. You still just can't be doing anything, vato. Okay, the antennas are going, you know. If you're there to wreak havoc, if you're there to cause chaos, you're going to get stomped out quick. The stompalization is real. So I used to watch this vato, and you know, every once in a while we did work the PIA together. I did have a conversation with him, like, hey, what's happening, homes? And he was a good dude. He was from the LA area, but I could tell he was on a downward spiral. Okay, when vatos are on a downward spiral, you know, there's no help that you can give them. You can't help someone that ain't trying to help themselves. And what I could see what this guy was getting into, and what I came to find out later, was he was doing a lot of gambling. He was doing a lot of buying things that he didn't necessarily have the money for. Now, the PIA paid nice. You know, when you're in prison, you want to get a PIA job. You want to get in the laundry, or you want to get you know, in one of those trade jobs, because you get paid a little bit more than others. And some people depend on that money. You know, they ain't got money coming from the outside. I know I didn't have a lot of failure coming from the outside. At that time, I knocked a little breezy. You know, she was running it in. The wind was blowing a little bit. So I was able to get 50 here and 50 there. But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, I wasn't having it like some people are having it. There's some vatos, like especially the Indios, they have yaper, right? They have feria. They have a lot of monies, and they make it up. What about the Woods, brother? The Woods didn't have as much as the Indios had, right? Let's just keep it real. But they had money, though. But some people ain't got it like that. And that's just part of prison living. Not everyone's going to be on the same social status of equality, I guess. Not everyone's going to have the same type of paper. Just like the streets, there's the haves and the have-nots, and I was definitely a have-not. I didn't have much. But I depended on that job, and that job ran it in once a month, and I was able to go max draw on Cantina and stock up and stack up, and it was good. You know, it was good in the hood. I was surviving. I was living. I wasn't doing much time at that time, so it was what it was, because on pow, bro, I was eating good, right? Now, this particular guy, it seemed like every time he went to Cantina, he forwarded it to someone. I would see it, you know, and I started to take a particular angle to this guy and look, because I felt bad for him. Like, damn, bro, look at the vato. Every time he goes to Cantina, because you get your canteen on the yard, so you get there with your bag, they're filling it up, and then as soon as he got it, he would forward it to the next guy, and the vato would be like, whistle while you work. Oh, hell yeah, right? They were going to take us to Cantina back. They'd be telling me, give me 2 ice creams, Holmes. It's just guess you 2, my brother, why are you looking at me like that? Give me 2 ice creams, Holmes, and run those. Run those immediately. I want the dipped chocolate one, and says get the vanilla swirl. Orale, right? They be out there eating ice cream and shit, and they're about to be over there struggling. He'd be looking at the ice cream like, you know what I mean? Hey, but he wasn't saying that when he was off the pills. Right now, anyways, I started to see the downward spiral. But remember, again, like I said, this guy wasn't no punk. See, this guy wasn't the type of individual you were just going to take something from. If he owed it to you, he would give it to you. But you weren't going to approach him in any type of vicious fashion or manner, because the other was going to get right back at you. Like that, right? So anyways, we're gym living. We're in the gym. Now, the makeup of this gym, there's a whole bunch of rows, and there was triple bunks. I remember someone slept on the bottom, someone in the middle, someone on top. You didn't want to be the one in the middle, fiddle, right? Because that was ugly. I either like the bottom or the top, preferably the top, because you could just hop on down and handle your business if you needed to. In the middle and the bottom, you're like in a cave, homes, and you can't get up that quick because you're heading at the top. So you'll have a duele, and you'll be all messed up, right? So, anyways, this guy was in there, and I started to watch his wigglization with his people, and I could tell he was kind of like not in bad standings, but they were angling towards doing something bad to him. Because I think he was getting himself caught up. The old myth, man, where people say, don't gamble or use drugs on the yard because you'll find yourself caught up. Well, he was definitely making that happen in real life. And he owed a lot of people. Now, I had a homeboy on that yard that he used to wheel and deal with on the slenders. No tobacco here, no tobacco there, never hurt nobody. I gave out to like the smoke. The smokalization was real. So the homeboy was like, hey, what's up with that Vato, Holmes? I see you talk to him. You talk to him in PIA, huh? I said, I do. He's cool. He's an older OG, but man, he's treacherous. He's a dangerous guy. He said, yeah, well, that Vato, guess what? I'm also a dangerous guy. And that Vato owes me a lot of money. And you see how Vato right there, he's going to continue to pay me a lot of money, or we're going to have to get off. I said, well, I'm trying to get off on the south side just of the day up here, right? And at the same time, if we got to do it, let's just kill him. Allegedly, right? The homeboy was like, nah, just get at him and tell him to run mines in, because I see he's, willing and dealing over here, and I know what time it is. Anyways, everybody knows everybody's business, but everyone acts like they don't. That's how it is on the yard, right? Or you're supposed to act like you don't. You're not supposed to pay attention to the next man's pocketbook, but at the same time, everyone's trying to see that 100 hanging out. Now, this Vato found himself head over heels in debt. And that's the last thing you want to be in prison on any type of yard, is in debt. Because when you're in debt, they say, if you pay me. No one cares. If lightning strikes and the wind blows in your cell, I say, all your lights are out, you ain't got no feria, you better give them a mon or something. You better come up with the feria, period. You wasn't saying that when you were smacking things back and drinking pruno, right? So they're going to go ahead and need theirs. Separate theirs from yours. That's why I never found myself caught up in them type of situations, gambling, and I didn't like all that, I like to keep my deodorants on my shelf. So anyways, he was getting in debt quite tremendously. And I was feeling bad for him. I remember I used to talk to him like, hey, bro, what's up? You need any assistance? I'm like, if I could help, I don't got much, bro. But, if you need a couple of deodorants or something to pay the heathens off, I got you. He was like, nah, don't trip. I got this. You know what I mean? He says, I know what I do. I do what I does. All right, cuz. Right? Bro, do what you do. There, say what your chest was. You're on your own. I offered. You're the enemy. In fact, you know what I mean? But I still offer. So this Vato, I remember we're in the gym this particular day. And it was just like any other day. People were gambling over here. People were getting taqueated over here. People were over there, just doing what they does. Busting spreads. And, I had a little crew in there. I had a little crew of homeboys. There's about 4 or 5 of us. A couple homeboys from Sakura, homeboy from Stockton, Modesto, myself. And we're chilling. We did our own thing. We didn't involve ourselves in the reindeer games because we already knew the repercussions for them actions. Plus, being non-active norteños, man, everyone already looked at us like we were some type of poop butts or something, homes, and we was not. Believe that. We were quick to get off. We were mad at. People respected us, but weren't trying to really deal with, what we had going on. We were ostracized, I guess, or we ostracized ourselves. But it was a good look because, hey, mystery, homes. The mystery of the unknown. They don't know they're not accurate, but to what degree of activation, I don't even know, right? So we were doing our thing. And I'm peeping homeboy. And he's running around, doing his thing. I remember he used to run around and he was over everywhere, almost everywhere in the gym. And I could tell he was on a great one, right? He was on a great one. He was feeling the the palm come on, and the Rocha was on frequent status. He was like, yeah, ugum, bugum, ugum, bugum. He was getting his ugum bugalization on, right? And I seen this from a distance. I'm like, hey, something bad's about to happen. I just know it. So I told my homeboy from Stockton, hey, trip out, homes. You see that about right there? That owes a lot of people money. He goes, I know, bro. They're going to get him, homes. He goes, I heard that there's one cat on the yarda that if this fool don't come with his money, this cantina, man, he's going to book him, right? And I was like, for real, like that? He says, yeah, bro. And he was like, that's a dead man walking right there. You know what I mean? I said, well, he's feeling himself while he's walking. Look at the way he's combing his beard. You know what I mean? He's feeling, yeah, even the woods ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? So anyways, that night, I remember I was posted up. I was on my bunk. No, it ain't right. No, don't give me a soup. Just give me a soup. I'm having a dream, right? And all of a sudden I feel like someone's shaking me and I jump up. What's that, right? Oh, hell no, right? I got my thing around my eyes. You tie a shirt around your eyes, so you don't get, because I'm under the bright lights and stuff. You got there was actually a placa that sat up there there was like a tower. They walked back and forth. So they kind of peeped game. They didn't really care about what was going on down there, but still, you never knew. And it was a light that shined. What's happening, right? And it was that fool. He's like, hey, I just want to say, bro, it was a pleasure meeting you. You're a good dude. And he goes, I don't care where you're from, Holmes. You know, you're a good dude. I said, well, what does it matter where I'm from, man? I am a good dude. What's happening, though? I was like, what's up, bro? He was like, yeah, I got to get up out of here, bro. If I go to that yard, you know, I heard bad stuff's going to happen to me. And I was like, damn, Stumps. I was like, hey, bro, what happened, bro? He was like, I got a little ahead of myself, homeboy. You know what I mean? I like them things. And I was like, bro, so, I mean, what part of the game is this right here? He was like, yeah, I'm going to get up out of here, bro. But I ain't going out like no punk. I said, you going to check in or what? Because I was already getting ready. I was already trying to pull a little something out of my culo. Because if he was going to say, oh, I'm going to check in and all that, I was going to try to do the Master Blaster just based on, even though he's not my people, just based on, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. Don't go PC up and do all that wild stuff. You know, it ain't that serious. He was like, nah, I'm going to get off, bro. And it was, it was like 1 a.m. when he's telling me this. It's dark. The people were just about to start getting up to go work in the kitchen. I remember, because about 3 a.m, that's when people start waking up to go work in the kitchen and stuff. Not like Wes Watson says, where his aura is just waking everybody up because he's so hardcore. That Vato would have got beat up. I'm telling you, facts. They'd have been like, are you kidding me? Your aura woke me up. It's like, you know what I mean? He'd have been on, they'd have called him Chueco. Believe me, his name would have been Bamuski. So anyways, this Vato's like, hey, trip out. Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I was like, all right. I'm looking around like, damn, I got to hurry up and get this out of my cooler because he might blast me. This might be a tactic, right? I'm looking to see if he has any homeboys that are going to join him. And this Vato, I don't know why he came up to me again. I had very minimal conversation with him. Like I said, he was a cool dude. I think because I asked him if he needed any help, he felt like I was the only one that he could turn to just be like, all right, bro. You know, I'm sure he told other people. I don't know. I woke up. I was the last one, maybe. Here I am feeling like I'm special, right? I could have been the 100th guy that he said, all right, bro. The last one in the gym. All right, homie. You know what I mean? But I thought, anyways, made me feel good about myself. He was like, all right then, Holmes. This Vato turned around, walked about 4 bunks over, and there was a Vato just snoring. No, don't touch me there. Don't touch me there. Right? And this Vato grabbed him by his granny almost. What word is that? I say, spell that 3 times. It was vicious. I remember the lights cut on. Poof. Everybody's jumping up. Hey, Holmes, what's happening? Right? Everyone's trying to do the offense, defense. This Vato was just booking. Cops came running, mace, you know what I mean? They're shooting the boom, get out. No warning shots, but they warned us. Everybody's like, I'm already down. I said, what degree of how we got to do this? This Vato continued his what could only be considered an assault, right? And they come and snatched him. And when they snatched him, fools were, then it's crazy. Let me explain something to you about prison. Then once he's in cuffs, the other Vato's laid out there. He lived, right? But he's not ever going to be the same. That was a bad dream and a wet dream at the same time. You figure that out, I said, right? But that Vato's laid out. They handcuffed this Vato. They Vato look like the American History X. He turned around like, right? I was like, I can't believe I was talking to that monster, right? And we're just looking. He has sangre on him. He did bad things to the other guy, right? And then other people, and this is the crazy thing about prisons, other people are like, homie, you a PC. That's a PC move, fool. You know what I mean? Why don't you go to the yard and take your medicine? I'm like thinking to myself, did you guys not see what they Vato just did? Now, they Vato easily could have got up, did the night crawler, walked up to the cops like, I got to get up out of here. They're about to book me tomorrow. So I was like, please help us, sir. Right? He didn't do that. That Vato took the initiative to go out and handle his shit like a beast. And he did that. The bestia was real. I'll never forget that. Because the look in his eyes was he was distant. He was gone. Right? But the look prior to that, when he got at me like, all right, homie, was pure emotion. Like he was sad. His career was going to be over. He was giving up the ghost. He was doing something that he didn't want to do after all this time of being solid, of functioning, of doing his thing. You know, and that showed me right there. That was another thing, another notch in the belt showing me that drugs were not the way to go, man. That they could hinder your whole lifestyle. They could change the whole rhythm of the way you rock. You know, I remember the next morning, bam, we go to the yard. They put us on lockdown for that day. The next day we come out because they didn't know what was going on. We went to the yard. My boy got at me like, what happened? That fool wiggled, huh? I was like, yeah, he wiggled, bro, but he wiggled in a vicious fashion. He was like, yeah, I heard. He was like, someone called me that night. He was like, trip out, bro. It is what it is. You know, it's a lesson to be learned. You know, Vatos that get head over heels in this stuff, you know, they can't take the heat, so they get up out the kitchen. I said, yeah, bro, but he made sure that he fried him some Popeyes and eggs before he left that kitchen. I said, I'm going to tell you that much. He said, no, that dude wasn't no sucker, bro. He goes, why do you think we gave him so much extensions and so much time? Because we already knew what time it was. That Vato then have a couple bodies under him. You know, he's a lifer doing all day. And I was like, damn, that's a sticky situation. I said, well, why would you deal with someone who already has a history of not paying or a history of, you know, giving you, you know, running game on you? And he said, that's just the way it is, Holmes. You know what I mean? You got to, you know, show everyone some love or whatever. And it was like that. But I'll never forget that, man. That was a cold night. You know, like I said, he could have easily slid something through me. I'd have been like, no, they hit a shish kebab. It'd have been called a shish kebab, right? And I would have been, you know, we're not my Richie. Vatos would have been like, God damn, gun got it, right? But that wasn't to be the case. You know, he sent his love, his respects. And I just was like, oh, okay. I mean, oh, hell no. Anyways, with that being said, gente, just a little story I wanted to put out. That was a Southsider handling business, man. He didn't go out like no punk or no poop butt. And to this day, man, I have the utmost respect for that individual. I'll probably never see him again. I hope to never see him again, just based on he's where I don't want to be and I'm where he wants to be. And I'm not trying to be all in that mix. The wind's blowing. I need me a torta, and that's what I'm about to get down with right now. Orderly, why am I wearing a Chargers hat, you ask me, as a Raiders fan? Because I'm trying to charge to a torta. Bang, bang. What you know about that, gang, gang? Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you moved with a purpose. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you understand that there's definitely, I'm not trying to glorify it, there's definitely, you know, reasonings why I tell you these stories. You know, and the reason is not to deter you from gangs or deter you from any of that, but to deter you from going in there and conducting your business if you're locked up like a poop butt, man. You got to go in there and stick to the grind, man, and do it intelligently, because I'm telling you right now, there's vatos in there that don't play. In this case, he was the aggressor. In this case, he was the one able to wiggle. You know, he ended up catching a whole lot of time for that, and it is what it is. He didn't care. He was a lifer anyways. But at the end of the day, you know, there is a thin line in there between love and hate. There's a thin line when you're locked up between, you know, getting it and getting right. And those that, you know, want to do good, man, they just stick to their peoples, they stick to their codes, they stick to their reglas, and they do their thing like a real one, man. Those that choose to divulge and involve themselves in extracurricular activities, well, there will be repercussions for your actions, and that's a fact. With that being said, move with a purpose. You know what I mean? Go out there, get it. Get it for your people, man. Or, you know, if you're like me, you already got it for your people, then go get you a torta. Double up. And the winner is the wind's blowing. You know what it is, man. Hit me with that thumbs up or the thumbs down. If it's going to be the head that wears this Charger crown, I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I honestly and truly believe in. That's the coming together of all people. You know, I say that to say this. Much love, respects to all the gente, all the raza, north, south, Perro Chatos, and of course the Latin Kings. You already know how we do it in the in-between. And for the Woods, brother, I'm feeling good. I got a shot of coffee. Got you. You already know what it is. The gun. Bang, bang.